And so it begins. Ladies and gentlemen, the Elder Scrolls 6 speculation train has now taken off. Wow, Fallout 4 is not even out, and we're already talking about Bethesda Game Studios' next game, and I just get the feeling that when Pete Hines was asked this question, I twitched just a little bit, like, really? We just announced, like, the most anticipated game of all time, and you're asking me about our next game. Like, are you serious? But I mean, if he did, I would not blame him at all. But anyways, it's worth talking about because now we get to talk about Bethesda Game Studios' next game, and I have an excuse to talk more about it. So, Dual Shockers. They have an article, link is down below, and they say it will be a very long time before we hear about the next Elder Scrolls game. Team is 100% focused on Fallout 4. There's two quotes I'd like to pick out of this article. The first one is that Hines mentions that he doesn't think we're close to hearing anything about the next Elder Scrolls game. Currently, Bethesda is working on Fallout 4, and that takes the entire studio, which is 100% focused on it. Now, my thoughts on this. I don't know how... I'm not calling Pete Hines a liar, okay? But I don't know how true that is in the sense where, you know, Todd Howard said Fallout 4 has been worked on since 2009. Okay, this was before Skyrim and right after Fallout 3. I'm sure Elder Scrolls 6 is at least a conceptualized idea where they have like a setting and kind of like some general ideas of what they want to do with the game in the sense of the story right now, and they're kind of blueprinting it. They're not in like the development state. They're just kind of doing what Todd Howard said, where they're just tossing stuff in, probably just like you know, for that Elder Scrolls game I just had a good idea, let's try this. Okay, yeah, we'll put that in and we'll see how it works later. And that's what they do. The other quote I want to focus on is, incidentally, we've also heard that Bethesda Game Studios focuses on one game at a time. The studio size is about the same that it has been for years, which is 100 or something. It's roughly the same size as the team that ships Skyrim. Yes, Bethesda is a very concise team, and a lot of people have wondered why they don't pump out so many games, and this is why. It's because they're a small team, and they don't want to get locked into that, okay, now we got to do a Fallout game, now we got to do an Elder Scrolls game, and being locked into this alternate cycle of being forced to make games that people want and not making the games that they want. And that's why their games are so special, is because Bethesda talks about or makes what they want, and we're very lucky that they make what we want as well, because that would obviously be an unfortunate coincidence. I'm sure one of these years though, Bethesda would like come out with a new IP and people would be like, what in the heck is this? But anyways, time for some more speculation. It's speculation time. Everyone's always asking, Matty, when's the Elder Scrolls 6 speculation going to begin to tease me in a sense? And well, here it is, you trolls. Let's get straight in this. Okay, when do I feel a reveal will happen? Well, I'm looking at it this way. Bethesda kind of likes to work in 3 to 4 year cycles. You look at Fallout 3 to Skyrim, that was 3 years. Skyrim to Fallout 4, that's 4 years. I wouldn't be surprised if it took them another 3 to 4 years to make the next game that they're working on. It took them about 2 years to fully shift their focus onto onto Fallout 4 when you take into account that Beth blog post that they made where they're like moving on to our next adventure, and that was around April of 2013, and it ended up being a little bit more until Fallout 4 was revealed. And so you know, with that said, I feel like, you know, they would have to release DLC and mod support for Fallout 4, and then they'd have to bug stomp, and then they could properly move on to their next project fully once everything's good to go. And then the speculation could kind of really start. So like I said, I feel like the rumor mill will really start churning around the end of 2016 to the end of or to the middle of 2017, where, you know, probably it's like Fallout 4's last DLC and everyone's like, well, what's Bethesda gonna do now? And I feel like the reveal will come around 2019, kind of naturally like Fallout 4 did, because I've kind of realized that Bethesda's Game Studios is sort of a creature of habit when you kind of look at their formula and stuff. That's not a bad thing. It makes things a lot less stressful, but you know, I just feel like that's kind of where we'd see reveals in 2019 based off, you know, the development cycles they have, the way they, you know, work on DLC mods, and then they bug stomp, and then they fully move on to their project a couple of years later. So I feel like, yeah, they'll probably fully move on to the development of whatever the next game they're working on around 2017, and then it will be revealed a couple of years later probably. But anyways, that's all just speculation. I like talking about Elder Scrolls. I like Elder Scrolls. I'm not like crazy into it like I am with Fallout, where I love the lore and everything, but Elder Scrolls is it's a solid series, man. I've put so many hours into Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, like many of you have, but you know, I just don't really get as invested in those fantasy games, but I love them nonetheless. They're a good time. I really do enjoy them. I put an unhealthy amount of time in the Skyrim. But anyways, if you guys would like to tell me what you want to what you're thinking about Elder Scrolls 6. Let me know on either Twitter or SugarMom. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. That's such a habit. I spit it out now. I'm sorry. But anyways, other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.